What's up, everyone? We got another post that I'm going to do a breakdown for. I think this will be helpful to those of you that are struggling with, as I've mentioned in my latest videos, having that external locus of control, being too outwardly focused. And it's imperative, if you want results, bringing that focus back onto yourself, bringing that focus on back on who is it that you want to be, and taking a look and a real honest look in the mirror to say, how are my actions? I can go around, play the victim all I want, but what are my actions? How have I been showing up? And being really honest with yourself with that, guys. I mean, that the first step, you got to get out of that denial phase. You got to say, look, okay, how am I contributing to this? I mean, I have people in my life that constantly, there are situations that I've been in recently where I don't want to point the finger, name any names, but it's like when somebody's making people uncomfortable and the other people tell me, like, let's say, okay, here it goes. So I've brought this up before about unsolicited advice, right? And say you have a guy friend and you're hanging out with some girls and the girls are just uncomfortable. They're just not at ease. They even come over to you and complain about your guy friend's behavior. Now, when you point it out to him, tell him what the girls said, he gets extremely, he comes on the attack. He says, no, I did everything right. I did everything fine. No, they're just dumb hoes, dumb bitches. Like, it's just, okay, well, why does this seem to be a pattern? Why are you telling me? And then you observe the behavior and you come to find out, actually, you're being aggressive. You're being bitter. You're being, it's too much. And, it's just something that, until you take an honest look and are willing to receive that feedback, criticism, advice in an honest way, willing to take the accountability, you're not gonna be able to make a change. And therefore you're gonna continue to get the same results because you're not being honest with yourself. You're not actually looking at it for the cold hard truth of what it is. Okay, that's just one example, but there's so many examples where if you're not willing to look at your behavior, the way that you're showing up, I wish that I could have you on video. I wish I could record a video so that you could see the way that you're behaving. It is unattractive. It is off-putting. It is just, it's not going to get you a good result, okay? So if you want good results in your life, you have to be aware of this. You have to, and that is why, I'm going to begin this group coaching thing. And part of that training that I'm going to give you guys is to actually see yourself in the mirror, on camera, to see the way that you are communicating with people, to see the way that you are showing up, because you're going to be surprised. And the thing is, there's so much that goes into that. A lot of people, they don't like the sound of their voice. They don't want to be honest with themselves. They don't want to look at themselves and say, oh, wow, like, this is how I sound. This is how I'm showing up. This is the way that people see me. It's powerful. It's something that I've done in the past, and it's something that, just by nature of me making these videos here, I'm able to see the way that I'm showing up, the way that I sound, and it's a useful thing. It's not like I just make this just to look at myself all day. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that the ability to observe yourself from that third person perspective, and that's why people always say, like, only visualize in the first person, and I strongly disagree with that. I think that you need to visualize from the third person as well, and oftentimes it might even be more powerful because you need to see what that looks like. You need to see what success looks like before you're able to adopt it. And if you look at Michael Phelps will imagine himself, he'll visualize himself. He talks about this at length in his interviews, sitting in the stands and watching himself win that swimming race. I forget what the races are called. Watches himself from the third person. He sees the negative outcome. He sees the positive outcome. He sees all the outcomes so that he can then adapt and be prepared in the moment to face those challenges that may arise during the race. So getting off on a bit of a tangent here, guys, but all of this stuff is very important. It's very important to be aware that if you really want fast, rapid results, these are things that you need to pay attention to. So here we go. Everything you need to know for your dream life. Life is everything I've ever wanted. It's perfect, all of it. After trying my ass off for close to 2 years and reading for 3 years 2 weeks ago, I finally got back my SP and I'm living the most perfect life. I'm gonna tell you every single thing I wish somebody told me. I've been on Reddit almost nightly, learning everything I could, trying to get back a girl who I briefly dated. But this girl changed my life and I was down to do anything to get her back. Sounds like some simping going on here. Believe me, I tried every single technique, read every single Reddit post related to SPs and self-concepts, etc., and on multiple occasions felt like everything had clicked. Spoiler alert, it didn't end up working for me. No surprise there. No offense. That's right. I didn't even get a text from her, nothing. I gave up for a bit. I came back to it and put my mind through hell trying to get this girl. Get this, went a whole month repeating nothing but I'm loved in my head and thought of absolutely nothing else. It was hell. Okay. I've been the lowest I've ever been in my life for almost all of last year. Come on, this is the thing, guys, is like, we just had a video about not reacting to the 3D, okay? And this goes doubly important for, I feel like relationships, like personal relationships and stuff. But I mean, guys, if you were allowing yourself to get into these, of course, of course there are certain things, okay? Loss of a loved one, the loss of a life. And, if you really are with somebody that you truly care about in a breakup, it can be difficult. It can be, it's a big change. It's a big life change. There can be a lot of grieving the life that you envisioned for yourself with this other person, grieving all the sometimes if this person isn't who you thought they were, grieving that identity of the person that you thought that they were, okay? And even your own ideas that, wow, I was really looking at this from this point of view, and this person was just a manipulative, asshole the whole time. But so I gave up. Like the issue that we have here, though, is that like you will not be able to change circumstances. You will be disempowered by allowing so much emotional thinking. A lot of people are big on emotion and low on critical thinking, low on substance, because they're constantly getting dragged around, getting yanked around, furiously jerked around by the 3D, by the outside world. And it's actually, when you detach a little bit, it's easy to see this from a distance. It's easy for me to sit here and like laugh a little bit, and at this guy's expense. I don't want to come off like a dick. But the thing is that it's important to notice this. How easy is it to watch this or to see a movie and somebody's just going through the ringer, and you are detached easily because you're like watching it in a movie, so it's kind of funny. It's kind of like, oh wow, I can easily see what's going on here. The trick in life is to be able to be detached even when it's happening in your life, even when it's hitting close to home. That is when you gain that power. That is when you gain that awareness. That is when you know how to respond rather than react to the situation, because you cut down on that logic, on that emotional thinking. And there's a lot of power in logic, guys. There's the Stoic philosophy. There's so much wisdom in this philosophy about looking things rationally, using logic to decide what to do in this situation, okay? We are emotional beings, but we are also logical beings. That is what we've been given. We've been given both, and we need to use both. We naturally will feel our emotions, but it is imperative on us to use logic. So, okay, here we go. This guy's really going through it, right? And I had a friend tell me about this, where he just like went through it for like a year, was just brutally depressed over this breakup with this girl. And it's like, dude, come on. Like, there is so much more life out here. There's so much more to gain in life, and especially by getting excited about your goals. You need to focus on, when you're going through a breakup or going through a big life change, think about all the things that you were saying no to by saying yes to this person, which didn't really value you, which was really not the best fit for you. Obviously, if you weren't together anymore, something happened, right? They weren't showing up properly. And so, look, you honestly dodged a bullet, okay? You dodged a bullet. You should be grateful. You should thank your lucky stars that you got out when you did, and you didn't allow this to consume any more of your life force, any more of your time and your energy, because you're on your purpose. You're a high value individual, and you don't have time for bullshit, okay? All right, so I came back to it, put my mind through hell to get this girl. Went through a whole month. Okay. Lowest I've ever been in my life, depressed, anxious, trying to do a mental diet. Okay, 2 months ago, I'd injured my leg and was bedridden for a bit. I had no choice but to read Neville and fully understand it. Regardless of how confusing the words were or how boring they were, I tried making the most amount of sense of it, and finally everything clicked. So first tip, please try to understand Neville as much as you can. These are essentials to getting what you desire. Okay, everybody's just loves Neville. So your self-concept, ask yourself, how would you be if you had your perfect life? For example, I picked up that I'd be someone who felt loved. Okay, this is key right here. This is the key part of the post. I felt loved, important, successful, blessed, and attractive. This is who I'd be if I was with my SP, had money, and lived well. The reason we do this is because we manifest who we are, and we can only manifest what we believe we're deserving of. Exactly. So working on self-concept means putting ourselves on the pedestal instead of anyone or anything else. This makes getting our SP and any other desires easy, as well as makes sure we keep them. Yeah, you know, you could put yourself on the pedestal. You could say it like that. I'd prefer to just say focus on yourself, focus on your well-being, because then you're going to be able to show up in a way that is good for others as well. So not working on your self-concept is setting yourself up for failure, I assure you. I want to take these qualities you listed before, make them affirmations. So mine would be, I'm loved, I'm important, I'm successful, blessed, and attractive. So embodying this self. Embodying this self means I'm thinking and feeling as this person. Keyword, feeling. Please don't dismiss this. It's what changed everything for me. Okay, guys. So all this means watching each thought as best you can. If a negative comes, observe it. You can root it out, and find the inner belief that's causing it. But for me, just observing and watching them roll past works. It lets them starve and die off. You can say the opposite if you like. Find which works best for you. Continue with this diet. Now the feeling. I was under the impression that feeling is something that I will magically come by saying affirmations that sound like words to me. I'm sure somebody will tell you that saying them will impress your subconscious and start believing it, but it's only true if there's feeling attached to it. Yeah, I firmly disagree, guys. I mean, this goes completely counter to my experience and my video, most popular video on my channel about robotic affirming. You don't need to have emotion, guys. You just need to simply repeat it and repeat it. That, and a lot of times by that repetition, the sheer repetition without the emotion, because the emotion can be what causes resistance. And that is where I disagree with Neville. And I don't think feeling is the secret. I think awareness is the secret. And when you're simply aware, there is no emotion. There's no need for emotion. It just simply is. Okay. Now, how do I get the feeling? Okay. What would you feel if this were true? Okay. How would I feel if I were loved? How would I feel if I were important? Okay. Yeah. We already know what Neville says. Okay. So the repetition of cultivating these thoughts and feelings of the person who is living the life you want will bring about the life you want, I assure you. That's the importance of the techniques, the repetition of the feeling. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip over this so just focus on being who you would be if you had your dream, feeling like them. You cannot go wrong, trust me on this. Okay, and again, there is a caveat to this, it's if that resonates with you, fine, go for it. To me, this is how I would describe it in my words, and I think that a lot of people have gained a lot of insight. People have come to me and told me that, wow, that really makes a lot more sense. This is what it is, okay? It's the feeling of naturalness. It's that relaxation. It is that relaxation around it. It is that almost ordinary boredom around it. It couldn't be more ordinary than walking in the park, and that is your desire, okay? It couldn't be more ordinary than getting your cup of coffee, than drinking your water, than going to the bathroom, okay? That mundane boringness is the way that you cut off that attachment, is the way that you lower that importance, and is the way that you actually are able to achieve and then sustain the result in your life. You're constantly feeling, oh yes, I need it so bad, and blah, blah. Or, oh no, what if I don't get it? You might get it for a bit, but it's not gonna be sustained in your reality. That is the truth that I've come to in my experience and from watching and from everything that I've learned about these subjects. And yeah, so interesting post here. The one thing that I did like about this is that, and it's funny because as I'm working on my course curriculum, it's kind of a bit similar to this. Mine's better a little bit. It's more involved, it's more in depth with creating this, these sets of affirmations that you're going to then do. And I'm also giving you guys the tools and the techniques when you feel that resistance, when you feel that doubt around what you're affirming. And I'm very excited to get this going, guys, this course/group coaching program that I'm going to be coming out with pretty soon. I'm working on it right now. It's going to be, I'm not sure whether I'm going to make it like a subscription-based thing or a one-time thing, but what it's going to consist of is the course curriculum and then also the weekly coaching calls so that we can go over and see how the progress is going, discuss. And I find that the group coaching environment is actually incredibly useful. I've been on group coaching calls before, and a lot of the times people will ask questions in a way or around a topic which directly then answers the question that I had, or will allow me to see something from a new perspective. So I think in actuality, group coaching can oftentimes be even more valuable than one-on-one coaching. So with that, going is the plan here. I'm very excited for that. It hopefully should be out. Hopefully I'll be able to roll it out within the next month or so, and looking forward to it, guys, because it's really like a collection of everything I've learned over the past decade, learning about this stuff, learning about psychology, learning about spirituality, learning about health, learning about optimizing your body, because again, everything is important. My approach with self-development and mindset is the holistic approach. The mind and body are connected, and everything that you're doing, your entire lifestyle, your entire group of habits, the entire way that you are showing up in the world is having an impact in the way that you are then able to affect the world and implement your intention into reality. That being said, guys, much love as always. Drop me a like if you found this helpful. Hit me with a comment and let me know your thoughts. Hit me with a subscribe if you've not done so already, and I will see you guys in the next video.